Good morning and welcome to today's session of Moments with Clara. As promised, we are going to continue on talking about complicated grief, most especially the complicated grief of child loss as related to a lingering illness. Um, I know this is difficult. Believe me, it's difficult for me to even talk about this with you. And that's why we're going to break this down into three separate segments. We're going to talk about why we never really come to terms with the fact that our child is terminally ill. There is a ray of hope that stays ignited within us where we want our child to keep fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting the illness. And somehow we hope, we have that gleam of hope that our child will beat this. Sometimes our child does, many times our child does not. I know I shared with you about my sister who was diagnosed at the age of 6 with asthma. Today, we don't think of asthma so much as a terminal illness, but back in the day, it was hardly known how to treat asthmatics. And my sister, during her final 6 months of life at age 13, was sent away to a home for children who were terminally ill. I know that in the heart of my parents, they still believed that she could beat this. So we're going to spend some time talking about that and how that complicates our grief. We're also going to talk about the effects that it has on a parent as they watch their child working hard to survive the illness, whatever that may be. Maybe it's something such as childhood diabetes, which takes many lives. Maybe it's leukemia. Maybe it's other cancers. There are multiple kinds of tumors and malignancies that take the lives of our children. There is muscular dystrophy. I could go on and on and on and on. Congenital heart disease, just nasty, nasty illnesses that affect so many millions of children. And eventually, many of those children do pass from this life. We're going to talk about the effect that staying by your child, with your child, as your child fights the illness, what this effect has on the way we grieve and how hard this is, and what we can possibly do to help in the after days. Also, we're going to talk about why and how it's so difficult to let go of our child when we know that death is impending. We understand it deep down. I think we have that sense. We know, my parents knew in reality that my sister was dying, and yet it was too difficult to let her go. So we are going to talk about those things. These are hard, hard, hard issues that very rarely are discussed. I believe with all my heart that only when we discuss these together can we take steps that will lend us some sort of support that we need during our lifetime of grieving afterwards. Hang in there with me. I know this is hard stuff. I'm only going to focus on each segment, possibly 4 to 5 minutes. I think that's enough for us to do each time we're together. The next 3 days we will be spending talking about the 3 things that I discussed today in today's Moments with Clara. And I promise you that we will end with some hope. I don't ever want to present something as heavy as this without giving you some tools that will help you along this journey of child loss. I hope today is somewhat of a softer day for you in your walk through this journey of loss. The sun is shining where I am in Pennsylvania today, following a rainstorm all night long. So I gladly accept the sunbeams and the rainbow that came with it. I hope that you're experiencing some hope in your life today, and I will be with you again tomorrow for another moment with Clara.